Hello friends, welcome to Dreamweaver Crocheting with Love. In today's tutorial, I am going to teach you how to crochet this mesh chevron stitch pattern. This stitch pattern is a repeat of two rows, a solid row and a mesh row. It's quite easy to do, so let's see how this is worked out. I've taken this 3 mm crochet hook and a 4-ply cotton yarn. First make a slip knot. Now this stitch pattern is multiple of 12 plus 3 chains. So for this sample, I'll be working 39 chains. So here I've worked 39 chains. Now we shall start with the first round. For that, skip the first 3 chains from the hook and going into the 4th chain, work 1 double crochet. Now going into the next 4 chains, work 1 double crochet each. Now including the 3 chains which I have skipped initially, in total I have worked 6 double crochets. Now skip the next 2 chains and going into the 3rd chain, work 1 double crochet. Now work 1 double crochet into next 4 chains. So in total I have worked 5 double crochets. Now work 2 chains and into the next 5 chains again work 1 double crochet each. So here I worked the 5 double crochets. Now the pattern repeats, that is you will be skipping the next 2 chains and going into the 3rd chain, work 1 double crochet and work 1 double crochet each into the next 4 chains. So in total I have worked 5 double crochets. Again work 2 chains and going into next 5 chains, work 1 double crochet each. So just repeat this sequence till you are left with the last 7 chains. So here I am left with the last 7 chains. Now skip the first 2 chains and going into the next 4 chains, work 1 double crochet each. So I worked the 4 double crochets. Now I am left with the last chain. Into the last chain, work an increase, that is 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So that completes our first round. Now since we are alternately skipping 2 chains as well as adding 2 chains, we are getting this wavy kind of pattern. Moreover, you should remember that every solid row will begin with 6 double crochets as well as end with 6 double crochets. Now we shall start with the second round. Work 3 chains and turn your work. Now going into the first stitch, work 1 double crochet. Now going into the next 4 stitches, work 1 double crochet each. So in total, including the 3 chains, I have worked 6 double crochets. Now skip the next 2 stitches and going into the next 4 stitches, work 1 double crochet each. Now here we have come across the chain 2 space. Going into the chain 2 space, work 1 double crochet followed by 2 chains and 1 more double crochet all into the same space. Now continue with the pattern. Into the next 4 stitches, work 1 double crochet each. Now the pattern repeats. You will be skipping the next 2 stitches and going into the next 4, work 1 double crochet each. So just continue with the sequence till you are left with the last stitch. So here I have worked 4 double crochets. Now I am left with last stitch. Going into the last stitch, work and increase, that is 2 double crochets all into the same space. So in total I have worked 6 double crochets. So as I mentioned earlier, every solid row begins with 6 double crochets and ends with 6 double crochets. Now we shall work with our mesh row. For that, work 3 chains and turn your work. Now going into the same stitch, work 1 more double crochet. So in total I have worked 2 double crochets. Now work 1 chain, skip 1 stitch and going into the next, work 1 double crochet. Now repeat the sequence once more. Work 1 chain, skip 1 stitch and going into the next, work 1 double crochet. Now skip the next 2 stitches, but one thing that you should keep in mind while skipping the 2 stitches is that you need not work any chains before skipping the 2 stitches. So going into the third stitch, work 1 double crochet. Now work 1 chain, skip the next stitch and work 1 double crochet. Work 1 chain, skip 1 stitch. Here we have come across the chain 2 space. So going into the chain 2 space, work 1 double crochet followed by 2 chains and 1 more double crochet into the chain 2 space. Work 1 chain, skip the next stitch and going into the next, work 1 double crochet. Work 1 chain, skip the next stitch and going into the next, work 1 double crochet. Now the pattern repeats. You will be skipping the next 2 stitches, but before skipping the stitches, need not work any chain. Going into the third stitch, work 1 double crochet. So just repeat with this pattern till you are left with the last stitch. So here I have worked a double crochet followed by 1 chain. I am left with last 2 stitches. So skipping the second last stitch and going into the last stitch, work and increase, that is 2 double crochet. So that completes the third round. So as you can see, every mesh row begins with 2 double crochet and ends with 2 double crochet. Now we shall work the solid row. For that, work 3 chains and turn your work. and going into the first stitch, work 1 double crochet. Now we shall work 4 double crochets into the next 4 stitches. So going into the first stitch, work 1 double crochet. Into the chain 1 space, work the second double crochet. Again going on to the top of the double crochet, work 1 double crochet, and into the chain 1 space, work 1 double crochet. So in total I have worked 6 double crochets. Now skip the next 2 stitches and going into the next chain 1 space, work 1 double crochet. Now in total we will be working 4 double crochets. One I have already done into the chain 1 space. Now going onto the top of the next double crochet, work a double crochet. Into the chain 1 space, work the third double crochet, and onto the top of the next double crochet, work 1 double crochet. So I have worked the 4 double crochets. Here I have come across the chain 2 space. Into the chain 2 space, work 1 double crochet followed by 2 chains and 1 more double crochet into the same space. Now the sequence continues, that is, into the next 4 stitches we will be working 4 double crochets. Skip the next 2 stitches and going into the next chain 1 space, work 1 double crochet and work 3 more double crochet into next 3 stitches. So in total we will be working 4 double crochet. Now just repeat with the sequence till the end of the round. So from here on, the stitch pattern is a repeat sequence. That is, you will be repeating the round 3, which is a mesh row, and round 4, which is a solid row, alternately for the desired length of your project work. For this sample, I shall repeat the 2 rows once more and get back. So I worked the mesh row and solid row once more, and this is how a stitch pattern looks like. Now this stitch pattern can be used for various crochet projects like blankets, shawls, ponchos and many more. So that's all for today's tutorial. I hope you found it really very useful. In case of any queries, please let me know through comments. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.